Sorry. So tell me again, how did you get into running?
It was
Your brother came down from Grand Forks or whatever?
Yeah.
Was it Grand Forks?
Yeah, Grand Forks with a cross-country team, and we had a practice that night.
Ah.
But they said when you go to high school, you used to run on your cross-country team.
So you trained with him?
It was just like a one-night practice, like. But like that's how I got inspired, because the kids said like you should join your cross-country
Well,
team.
it's fun when you suddenly find something that you're half good at.
Yeah.
That's what's nice about running. It's very easy to know if you're half good at it at the beginning, and then you get encouraged because you start getting better.
That's right. Yeah.
You get better for what, about 10 years, and then
and as you know, when you first start running,
everything is better, isn't it?
Everything I just took 30 seconds off my 10.
Yeah, and then you get to the stage when you're banging away at it and nothing. It's always the same or slightly worse.
41:09, then you're like 41:30. Like you can't.
Well, in a way, I was lucky that I never broke the 40 minutes for a 10K.
I did once, but it was a short course. It was at Beacon Hill Park, part of a biathlon where you had to run 10K.
Okay.
And by 20, but like it was at least 700 or 800 meters out. Like.
Sure. So you have to add about 2 minutes to that.
Yeah, because I could tell. Like I thought, no, there's no way I did this.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. Hang on, we start here and.
All right, we're up.
That was neat how you did that route on the map, like.
Yeah, well, I've got one of the tools that I use is a mapping tool.
Yeah.
That's part of a website called the Daily Mile.
Right.
And I log all my runs on there.
Yeah.
You're going to have to slow down a bit on the hills for me.
Oh, that's good. There's a few hills on this one.
Well, you're younger than me.
Yeah.
You got stronger legs. I rely on just cruising. Yeah, I don't have too much.
The first turn is here, of course.
This is Old Esquimalt Road.
Yeah.
Up we go.
Yes, I use my dash camera in the van to record that.
Yeah, but coming back.
It's a circle.
It's a circle, yeah, but coming back, we don't have to come on transit.
No.
We could come straight up Colville.
Yeah.
It's a lot quieter.
Yeah. Yeah. So
we should cross when it's safe.
Yeah.
Because there's a sidewalk over there.
Yeah. So we won't go through that transfer street. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's just for cars.
Yeah.
We can go straight up Colville.
Yeah.
And then turn.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, heads up here. I can smell garlic.
Where there's a pizza place.
Yeah. Maybe they're prepping their sauce.
Yeah. Well, there's a Tim Hortons around the corner too. So.
Yeah. I don't think Tim Hortons uses much garlic.
No. Or Panago might.
Yeah, Panago maybe. But they don't look as if they're busy. No, it was back there.
Yeah.
It smelled more like Chinese.
Yeah.
Or maybe Italian. That kind of garlic smell.
Yeah.
Have you warmed up yet?
Yeah, pretty much, eh?
Because now we got the boring section.
Yeah.
Admirals all the way. I'm cheating! I know. Oh. I used to run this way with Derek all the time.
Oh, really?
But he didn't like the hills.
Oh.
So that's when I invented the Derek Squares.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's flat, flat, flat.
Yeah.
Actually, the Derek Squares is good for road racing training.
Yeah.
Because it's a mile a lap.
Right.
So if you want to do a 5-mile run, you just go 5 laps.
Yeah.
Which would be 8K.
That's right.
Today we're going to do about, 7.5?
6 and 6.7, isn't it?
Okay.
Average heart rate 142. Workout average pace 6 minutes 49
We're close to 7. This one, I have to check it out.
So once again, 6:49 is our pace.
That's right.
And that's what it was last week, I believe.
Yeah. Something like that.
that having done so many years of long distance running, I was very, very conscious of pace at the beginning.
Yeah, you know, like,
The worst time is to go fast at the beginning and then have nothing left.
oh, that's right.
Even distribution of effort
Yeah,
is the secret of long distance running. And ever since I started using heart rate training,
yeah,
I found it a lot better. Because now if it tells me that my heart is doing like 160, then I start walking because
yeah.
it's putting too much strain on my heart. It meant that I went too fast at the beginning.
Right.
Or if you start sprinting up a hill, it'll
Yeah.
warn you to back off.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah, because when you're young and when you're learning, you just want to push all the time
Right.
until you puke at the end. But that's sort of very short-term goal, you know, running that hard at the beginning and then hoping that you hang in to the end.
Yeah,
That doesn't work after the first 5 years.
yeah,
After that, you've got to be a little more smart with your training. I was going to run with Derek on Wednesday, but what with the smoke,
yeah.
1 week it was the smoke, another week it was just getting back from Nova Scotia. I'm going to have to go ahead here,
Yeah, good idea.
otherwise I'm going to get ripped to pieces. It's just the bushes.
Yeah, that's all right.
This is my best shirt. I got this one at Salvation Army.
Oh, really? Oh, that's good, eh?
It's an excellent shirt.
Yeah.
It's a New Balance long sleeve technical.
It's amazing what we can find there.
$5.
Oh, wow.
This would have cost 30, maybe more.
Yeah,
Yeah, Derek always used to say, "Uncle," on this hill.
oh, really?
Yeah, because he would go off happy and, you know, full of the joy of spring. And then finally around here, he would realize it's not quite as easy as he thought.
Oh,
But, you know, he doesn't really train often enough
no.
to get the benefit. I have a new app on my phone that lets me replay the runs that we do.
Oh, wow.
Yep. They used to have something similar on Map My Run,
Yeah,
and it would show you a bird's eye view
yeah,
flying over the map, like they do on Google Maps.
yeah.
Give you a flyby. I'm looking forward to getting to the top.
Yeah, there's another. We climb up and we go up again.
Yeah. Hi. But when Derek and I used to do this run, we would turn here
Yeah,
and head back. We'd head back towards Lamson.
yeah,
We're just about half a kilometre along there. We turn right
right.
and go up a hill,
Yeah,
up to Rock Lodge or something, or Rock Heights,
yeah,
something like that. There's a park
yeah, that's right.
up there,
There's High Rock Park up there.
High
too.
Rock.
Yeah.
I was close.
No, but you're right, it is. There's a Rock Heights school down there, I think.
Okay. I was close with Rock Heights. Oh, this is good. Finally, I'm in the zone. How about you?
Yeah, good, yeah.
You feeling comfortable?
Yeah,
You got to be able to feel that you could do this for an hour,
yeah,
and then your training is being valuable. Not saying it's an e-bike. I'm not saying we should run an hour today,
no,
but we're going to run close. It's going to be about 48 minutes.
yeah.
See, this is Colville.
Right.
There's a bus that comes on Colville,
That's right.
the 29. I think it's the 29. Is that what they call the graving dock?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and the cycle trail goes down there.
Right, yeah.
How far does it go now?
Probably go all the way to the circuit if you stay on it.
But is it paved or is it gravel?
It's gravel once you get past the valley, I think.
Okay.
That parts of the gravel.
So it's basically the Galloping Goose. It joins up.
Basically, yeah.
It joins up with the goose.
6 minutes 42 seconds per kilometer.
6:42. So we sped up. The other thing this app lets me do, the one that's called Relive, is it lets you insert pictures that you take on the run. And they pop up where they were taken on the map.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, well, I used to do all of that with my computer. Now they made it easy. It used to be I had to work at it. But now you just send them the link from your training, and within an hour or so, they send you an email and say, this was your run.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we've covered how I got into running. Well, I didn't tell you how I got into running. I was at the Y in Montreal, starting a weight training program to build up my muscles, my upper body. And you know how they say that you should warm up for 5 minutes
Yeah.
and then start your weights? Well, I was warming up on a treadmill next to a guy, and he said to me, "Are you entered into the race?" And I said, "What race?" He said, "The Bill Lewis 5K. It's a spring classic."
Yeah.
And you know how the Y has spring classics that
Yeah.
kind of get people motivated. Well, in Montreal, the winter was just getting snowier and snowier, so there was no running outside for me.
Yeah.
So I ended up running on the treadmill, and then I started thinking, well, this is fun. Maybe I will train for the 5K.
Yeah.
Anyway, that guy who got me into it, I didn't know his name for about a month. We would see each other at the gym. And then he asked me if I'd entered. And in those days, you had to do it by mail, basically. You'd have to mail in an entry fee, a check, you know. You remember checks?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. This is another uphill.
Yeah.
This is Modest's Smoke Shop.
What is it?
Yep, she sells tobacco products. And I don't know if they pay tax.
I don't think so. Do they?
If they're on the reserve, they don't pay tax.
a native status card too, right?
Yeah. So here's another cycle path.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to investigate. Next time I come, I'll make sure I have a full charge.
Yeah.
And I can come back this way. Instead of going through town.
Yeah, this is really good. We got a bike lane here and over there.
Yeah.
Oh,
They must have finished this about 6 months ago or less.
yeah.
Because
Probably less, like in the
you see this here?
Yeah.
This is grass seed.
Yeah.
They spray it on the ground and it hasn't even rooted yet. But then it's been a very dry year. Once it starts raining,
Yeah.
this will all be green. Won't be long now, Rob, before we won't hear the sound of motorcycles and big SUVs.
Yeah.
It'll all be electric vehicles.
All right. Yeah. How many more years do you think?
10. I think the gas engine will be dominated by the electric
Yeah.
within 10 years.
It'll become more affordable and all that, right?
Well, they just have to put more charging stations
Yeah.
and have high-speed chargers so you can charge up in 20 minutes.
Right.
I wouldn't want to wipe out on this wall.
No.
I think I know who would win.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be me.
Well, you never know.
The wall would definitely win. And they sprayed it. You notice this?
Yeah.
It's got a shine on it.
Yeah.
I believe that's to stop graffiti.
Right.
They spray that surface on the rock or on the cement to stop people spraying graffiti on there. And if they do, they can just wipe it off. Halloween! Well, this is the first time I've run with you when I haven't been hungover.
All right. Yeah.
I know that's not a very proud achievement, but it feels a lot better than last week, only because my head doesn't hurt.
Right.
Because the body's going to work just about as well, but it hurts more if you're hungover.
That's right.
It's not like suddenly everything shuts down.
No.
Well, that's what a lot of people say about mojo.
Yeah.
They say, oh, I didn't have my mojo going.
Yeah.
I mean, what does that mean?
Yeah.
They're expecting somebody to say, poof, there's your mojo.
Yeah.
Go and have a good run. It's going to happen or it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's all.
Some days you have it, other days you don't. Right?
But it's no good just saying, oh, I don't want to do it because I don't feel right.
Yeah.
The secret of training is just to keep doing it.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people, they put too high a goal.
Yeah.
They want to do their 4-hour or their 3-hour marathon. And they try so hard
Yeah.
that they just end up saying, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And then they start playing golf. Or they start doing triathlon.
Yeah.
I can see where they're coming from because, you know, as we were saying earlier, at the beginning it's so exciting because
Yeah.
you're always improving. So what you do, what a lot of people do, is they keep improving until they stop improving.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, maybe I should try a new sport.
Right.
And they do triathlon.
Yeah.
And then they do their marathon because they got the training
Yeah.
from the triathlon with the idea of doing Ironman.
Yeah.
Did you ever do Ironman?
Well, I was in it in 92 and 93, but I never made the swim cutoff time. Like,
Oh,
swimmer, like,
no, me neither.
so that's the toughest part for me. Like, is
The swim.
So I remember talking to a woman at the start of it
Yeah.
in 92, and she was terrified of the marathon. I said, oh, the marathon, that's
the best part for you.
the easy part for me. Because you got, well, not easy, but easier.
Yeah. But by then you're tired.
Yeah.
By then you've already swum 2K,
Yeah, 2.4 miles, yeah. 3.8K.
3.8K, and then you have like a 80-kilometer bike ride.
180
What?
on the bike, yeah, the 180K on the bike.
Can we cut across here?
Yeah,
All right, thank you.
180K on the bike.
I didn't realize it was that far.
Yeah,
That's
3.8K swim, 180K on the bike.
that's longer than 100 miles.
112, yeah.
Wow.
But these bikers will do it under 4.5 hours. For the bike,
What, the 100 miles?
for the 112 miles, yeah.
Wow.
If you want to win the bike, you got to be under 4.5.
Wow. That is just amazing. But those guys are like, you know, age groupers or the elites?
The elite guys.
Yeah, what about age groupers?
Well, if you can do a 6-hour bike, it's considered good.
Okay.
Like,
So the elites are 2 hours faster.
well, the guys that will win it outright will do it in 8.5 hours.
The whole race?
The whole race.
Wow. And they would have covered close to 200 miles.
Yeah. And we have 17 hours. Which you can do in 12, we consider pretty good.
Yeah. I see pictures of a lot of people finishing in the night.
Yeah.
It's dark and they're struggling up the last hill. You wonder how many of them do it again.
Yeah.
The ones who say, I want to do an Ironman. And then they decide it's too hard.
Yeah.
Then what do they do?
I don't know. It's some money too to enter.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
So it's like $300.
Yeah.
Down top of your 900.
And on top of that, to do well, you have to travel. You have to stay the night in a hotel. Then you have to buy a bike or rent one.
Yeah.
Or rent one. That's more expensive than my e-bike.
Yeah. Yeah, to get a good trial on bike's probably $4,000 at least now.
Just. So the days of doing it in a Raleigh 10-speed, they're long gone.
Yeah, I miss those days. They were more fun in those days.
Yeah. What they should do is they should do old school triathlon
Yeah.
and using only pre-1980 equipment.
Steel frame bikes only. Yeah.
Steel frame, no wetsuits, no, well, I guess they couldn't really mess with the marathon, could they? That's what I like about running. Of all the sports, it's the purest.
Yeah, you can't really mess with it.
You can't mess with the marathon. It's 26.2,
Yeah.
and you're running with shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the shoes are slightly better.
Oh, yeah, they're way better, I think. Like more pristine.
But that's the only expense, really, in running.
Yeah.
I bought these shoes about 3 weeks ago. They cost me $140, and they're very, very light. And I really noticed them yesterday. I was running about 14K yesterday, and my legs felt a lot healthier at the end, partly because they're new shoes,
Yeah.
and partly because they're light. My other shoes are quite heavy. And what happens to those shoes is when they get wet, they start to hold the water. And eventually they weigh more because they're always damp. If you can imagine pouring a glass of water on each shoe and then weighing it,
Yeah.
that's what it would weigh like. And unless they dry out completely, you're always going to be carrying that extra weight.
Yeah.
It's the same with socks.
Yeah.
If you wear really thick socks and they get wet, you're carrying an extra couple of cups of water in your socks. And let's face it, you can't really train here in the winter without getting wet.
Yeah.
I always have 3 pairs for the winter. We've seen him before.
Same guy.
Yeah. I hope he has his charger with him.
Yeah.
That's another thing I could have done. I probably could have got here, plugged it in while we ran,
Yeah.
and then run back.
There's a plug outside there.
Is there one?
Yeah.
Well,
I'll show you when we go back, but
no, I'll just make sure that I charge up before. And the other thing is not to believe the power gauge.
no.
Once it gets below 5, it's guesswork.
Yeah.
And the other thing I think what happened was, when I checked yesterday, the battery was hot. It was warm. And then when I checked this morning, it was at least 10 degrees cooler. So it might not hold its charge. When I came over from Montreal, this was after I'd already started running for 3 or 4 years, I decided that I was going to help my wife with the driving. But after the first day, she said, "This is not going to work." I said, "Why?" And she said, "Because I can't relax. When you're driving, I can't relax." So she wasn't getting any rest. She was just stressing every time I drove.
Oh, I wonder why.
Well, because she didn't want to take her eyes off the road. Didn't trust me. She didn't trust my driving. So I said, "Okay, well, why don't we just drive until you're tired, look for a motel, and then spend the night?" So it took us 6.5 days to drive. But you could do it in 2.5. But you have to do like 500 miles a day. And because I wasn't sharing the driving, that wasn't going to happen. So, and we had two young boys in the car as well. So I remember when we were in Brandon, Manitoba, we got to Brandon around 10 in the morning. And we noticed that they had a Best Western or something, one of those hotel groups. And we noticed that they had a water park inside the hotel. So we thought, well, we'll just stop here. And the kids spent pretty much the entire day on the water slide. And then we got in the car the next morning and drove out of Manitoba into Saskatchewan. And then Saskatchewan into Alberta. And then Alberta into BC. I think that's how it goes. Quebec, Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and then BC. We got to Hope on July 1st. So we saw the Canada Day celebrations.
What year was that? Over 20 years ago?
96 I think it was. Or 95. No, 96. Because that was the year I ran my Victoria Marathon. 96.
What was your time back then, do you remember?
Maybe it was 95 that we came across. Because it was definitely, the marathon was in the fall.
That's right.
41. I'm pretty good at guesstimating. Okay, I'm running. Do you know that guy?
Oh, he said hi.
Yeah, he's a friendly chap. So we turn left here, right, on Colville, and then we're back on your street on Lamson. Hang on. Yeah, I've just heard 42. You know, we probably were at Camosun at the same time.
I never went to Camosun as a student.
Didn't you go there for the chef school?
No. No, I know on my Facebook it says I did, but that was a retail sales course.
So you can work a cash register?
Yeah, but I've forgotten it all gone.
Yeah. Back then they still had pennies.
Yeah. I actually found 5 pennies on the ground yesterday.
We have a bowl full of pennies.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with them.
Just keep them, because
Can I melt them down?
You might be able to.
Make a gold bar out of them? No, they wouldn't be gold.
Copper.
A copper bar. You. So we got one more dip and then one more up. And that's the bus. I'll be catching the next one.
Yeah.
So basically I got 20 minutes to get from here to the bus stop. 28 minutes. So I won't come up for breakfast.
Yeah, we got a bit of.
What got you into cooking? Hello. Hi. Hello.
Hi.
She was miles away. What got you into cooking? For you or for me?
For me, I think.
Okay. Oh, you should have said uncle.
Uncle, is that what he said?
Yeah, that's what Derek says.
Oh.
Well, originally we had a friend who ran with us called Robbie. And he used to say uncle when it got too hard.
Oh.
And now we have this joke, Derek and I.
Yeah.
He says, I'm not going to do a Robbie today.
Oh.
And by that he means he's not going to say uncle.
Yeah.
When we do the other loop, we come out here Rock Heights Avenue
Yeah.
and then run up Lamson.
That's a good one. Maybe try that next time. Maybe do,
But-
like not next time, but another time.
Yeah, next time you're coming to Lambert,
Yeah,
right?
we'll run somewhere there.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I'm not saying we have to do trails, but
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
yeah. As long as we both have the option of saying uncle.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, Shannon's still in the hospital, apparently.
Yeah.
Still in Surrey.
Who's looking after Charlie? You?
Me.
Do you bring Charlie to your place?
No, we're not allowed him.
Oh,
So I
so
go
that
there 2 or 3 times a day.
you have to go and feed Charlie and
Yeah.
clean out his dirt box,
I put new litter in the other day.
and then you have to play with him for a little while.
Yeah, I was there a couple hours last night.
That's nice.
Originally, we thought she was coming home yesterday.
But she's in Surrey, you were saying.
Yeah, Surrey, yeah.
Because I'm sure Charlie's good for her. It cheers her up.
Oh, yeah,
Charlie
yeah.
cheers her up. It's when she gets alone that she gets depressed, I think.
That's right, yeah.
But with Charlie and with you keeping her company, it's a shame she doesn't have a few more friends.
Yeah, well, she does, but they're up island, like.
Ah,
Like that's Shirley Franklin's up island. And Mill Bay and that Beth.
okay,
She's out in Colwood, but she has a special needs son.
okay. So really and truly, she's pretty much living a life of a spinster,
Yeah, by
a
herself.
single woman.
Yeah,
How old is she now? 45?
49.
49.
Oh,
Yeah.
like 1969, so 50 next year.
Hang on a second. That's a nice array of bushes there.
Oh, yeah.
You see how they do one dark and one light?
Yeah.
You know what annoys me about my new phone? It has a touch sensitive spot.
Oh,
When you want to switch it on, you have to put your finger on the
yeah.
on the button, and if it doesn't recognize your fingerprint,
Yeah.
you're locked out until you do it again, and then it says Siri not available. I know Siri's not available. She wouldn't be in.
Like, yeah.
Okay, so pretty close. Maybe that's the difference when it stopped, when it did the
Maybe I
auto.
started up here and I walked down like I could have done that.
Yeah, you might have done that. Anyway, close enough to the same.
Yeah.
Because this little stretch is about 100 meters. So next week you're coming to Lambrick?
Yeah, you are. Should I meet you where? At your house, like, or at your driveway, or where?
Yeah, meet me at my driveway, and that way I can, if you're late, it won't bother me because I'll be at home. But now I have to get my hoodie, and then I have to get across the street for the 26.
Which is just up there across the street.
Yeah, and it should be in the next 15 minutes. So it worked out pretty well perfect.
Yeah. It should be unlocked now. And the top here underneath it.
Yeah. That's pressure sensitive, it's not fingerprint sensitive, otherwise it wouldn't have opened for me.
Yeah.
My wife used to have a Dodge Caravan.
Yeah.
Probably the model before that one.
And the plug's just around the corner here.
Yep, so next time if I'm concerned about the battery, what I'll do is I'll bring the charger.
Yeah.
And if it needs to be topped up, I could do it then. Alright, so I'm gonna hang up here and catch the bus, alright, Rob?
Okay.
I'll see you next Saturday.
Yeah, around the same time, I guess, eh?
9 o'clock, around 9 o'clock at my place.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, Rob. Thanks for the run.
The run, that was good.
It was.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to go much longer. We'll keep it around 7 or 8K.
Yeah, that was a good distance, yeah. Thanks.
Bye-bye.